Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. If you found yourself here, there may be a message for your healing journey, soul's evolution, transformation, and or simply information. Today, I would like to talk about childhood trauma or abuse effects that people feel from that situation, whether it was your parents, caregivers, anybody, babysitters, family, or maybe later in life. It triggers something you don't remember. So, feeling separated from your parents or caregivers, maybe crying a lot, traumatic events, or having rage fits at school, being bullied or becoming a bully, maybe eating poorly or having a lot of weight gain as a young child. I worked at pediatrics for a while, and there was lots of kids after COVID, and some of them had a lot of different ailments. Of course, there's many different factors that come into play. But if I saw loving, nurturing parents that were authentic, it rules out a few things. And sometimes it's predispositioned, diabetes or cancer, and it was sad. But then there's those ones that were in a private room coloring, and they have very interesting pictures, right? So those children, you can tell, don't feel loved, which is very sad. An unloved child maybe suffering from a lot of abuse or emotional issues in school due to consequences, or oftentimes they look for love in all the wrong places as they become adults. Maybe they truly never did receive it or never were told, I love you, or there was no unconditional love, it was conditional. So then when they become adults, that's how it is. Have the ability to find true love, or they don't know what that is. It's conditional. And they need to be somewhat perfect with all the partners, right? There's always something to fill the void. Material things, addictions, that's how they happen, or maybe promiscuous or unhealthy habits. So if you feel unloved today, I keep getting this message over and over and over and over. It's time to turn it over to God, source, a higher power, and your inner strength to say, yes, you do. And I'm telling you now, you deserve love. Everybody does. And it's time to heal what no longer serves you, whether you were carrying it for yourself or you saw the abuse happen to somebody else and you didn't say anything. Maybe it was your own sibling, and maybe it was your parents that did this, or somebody else that you know and you never spoke about it. Well, it's time to stop the madness. It's time to stop the addictions, and it's time to say yes to yourself. Why? Because I'm telling you, you matter. You matter and you are lovable. Nobody can ever tell somebody that you would never have anybody love you the way you are, who you are, what you believe in, how you look, how you feel, how you laugh. I mean, I've been told these things by a crazy bastard ex, and it didn't mean anything. I mean, he tried to hurt me, but on the other hand, I know who I am. But at the time, they may have done other things to make you vulnerable, compromise your integrity or your position, or told everybody else something other than who you were. Well, it's okay. That's because they're wounded, right? They're hurt people, so they hurt people. So rise, my friends. You can do this. You can look in the mirror and honestly say to yourself, I matter. And I want you to do that today. And I know it hurts and there's tears rolling down people's faces, but I keep getting this message today because there's so many people out there suffering in silence. And it does break my heart. I was a teacher for many years, and I'd see a lot of students with broken hearts being very creative. And right now, it brings a tear to my heart. I can feel the emotions. I was thinking about a few people just a second ago. But I know that they become perfect in their craft. They're beautiful, and they have clients that love their work. So you see, it doesn't matter who said what to you. Like Maya says, it's what you answer to. It's who you look in the mirror and say yes to. And you'll have a partner that loves you as you are, just as you are. It's beautiful. You see, God has partners for us, people, places, and things that line you up for your success and want the best for you, not the ones that tear you down and call you those things and make you feel that way. Sometimes people say the most ruthless things. It's awful. I've heard it myself, and I've heard other people in earshot call people things at restaurants, in airports, in schools, in buses, and on the playground, no matter where, even at work. It doesn't matter where you are. If you've heard something and somebody seems vulnerable, you should say something to help other people. Now, I'm not saying be the nosy neighbor. You have to mind your manners and do the right thing. But if you have somebody that clearly is being abused, you need to say something or offer them a card that has the right number on it to call so they can get some assistance. Here today, there's plenty of people out there that offer authentic, true healing for those that want it. It is not meant for you to suffer in silence this lifetime at all, ever. Nobody should, no matter what. So if you want healing and receive that, because we're meant to find love and abundance and true love comes with yourself. Yourself is sacred, and healing and self care is not selfish. If you were told that, it's wrong. I know I heard that. You shouldn't do that, it's selfish. You can't do that, it's selfish. Or why would you do that? That seems so selfish. Well, and you look at it back now and you're like, good Lord, the person was telling me that I'm selfish because I wasn't doing something for them. Profoundly interesting, right? Maybe it was your own mother, friend, family, coworker, or past. That's why it's there in the past. They're not somebody that makes you feel good and brings you up in the world. They tear you down every which way possible, right? To capitalize on any wounded or vulnerability you may have had. And that's not okay. It's not okay to hurt somebody when they're vulnerable. And it's not okay to raise kids in an unsafe, unloving, unrespectful place, right? And where it's untrusting. A lot of people that have childhood wounds that aren't healed have depression and anxiety and addictions. Maybe they have that feeling because there was no help. But even somebody that smiles at them and asks if they need some help, you can tell by their demeanor, right? Maybe they have tears in their eyes because nobody ever said that. Maybe they have low self-esteem and in school they were called stupid, right? I've heard that. I used to have a lot of students where other teachers called them stupid or they couldn't learn. There's lots of different learning styles, and you have to have a safe, sacred space to be open to learning for some people. Have you ever seen caged animals or wild animals or a horse that needs to be broken? You yourself have to earn their trust and be in their boundaries. How brilliant. We learn from different things, and of course, animals, right? If you get too close, they can kick you, and they do. Good for them. Unfortunately, we can't do that anymore, right? Except for in kindergarten, you get away with it because you didn't know better. But anybody who disregards your feelings, makes you feel unsafe, tells you you are unlovable, or God forbid, you're ugly, or, there's lots of things they call you with the B's and the C's and the POS's, right? Or the classic dumbass, right? Those are things that you need to say, hell no to that, and hell yes to me. Today is your hell yes day to you. People please yourself, right? You matter. And if you've been with a narcissist, I know that you feel this. And if you're crying, I say, good. Let the tears roll. Why? Because it cleanses your soul today. And hopefully I can direct you to ensure you will be okay. Faith over fear for your healing journey, and hope is always important. For I can tell you those false memories, if you've heard of NLP, neuro linguistic programming, it's real. And if you have somebody you see on this, professional side, they might have that for you, which will help calm your nervous system. Or you can see a high level energy worker. I know I do the work, timeline healing, and other people that I know do that are reputable, that I trained under and are with. And it's very good for your body, mind, and soul. It's just one thing. But if it doesn't resonate, don't do it. Because energy is energy, and if it's in your body, it'll be in your mind. You can't mind over energy. It's not mind over matter. You have to energetically ping it out of your body. And your mind can then slow down and release it. It's magical and profoundly interesting. So even the music you listen to or the restaurants you go to that maybe remind you or trigger you of pain, you can dissipate those and still love the music and in the restaurant without being triggered by past pain. So it is important for you to release them because those memories don't need to be captured in your body, mind, and soul anymore. And absolutely is your time to rise like the phoenix and be that beautiful flower that you know you are. No matter how you are, if you're healthy and you're happy, I see you and I can tell you you are loved and lovable. And I know for a fact whoever you have on the other side is beaming down at you, telling you right to your heart that they love you. I can feel it. And I know mine are there too, because that's priceless, right? Love is priceless. And if it's tangible, in no wavering, unconditional, even better. I know I had that with my grandparents. I know the difference. It's priceless and it's real and it's unforgettable. So hopefully you all will find somebody in your life that can make you feel that way, help you feel that way. But remember, you have to be able to give it back too, because that person is deserving of it also. So I'd like to tell you, this prayer, I like to say it to everybody. And I'll say it a few different ways because you have to hear it, see it, feel it, and then know it in your heart, your body, mind, and soul. It's best if you're sitting or laying down and maybe grab some Kleenex. Take some deep breaths, and here we go. Ho'oponopono is, I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, and I love you. I'm sorry is to acknowledge that I created whatever pain I've caused in error I've made. Forgive me because I didn't know what I had inside of me, or maybe inside of you. And thank you for allowing me to release and cleanse this memory. I love you means you're divine. I see you, the light in you. And that means if you see it in somebody else, you must feel it, see it, and hear it in yourself. So when you're confronted with conflict, violent reactions from somebody, and it creates a traumatic event, or anything else that is less than desired, negative emotions and or fight or flight does trigger. And if you're with somebody that capitalizes on your trigger, they probably replay it over and over and over and over and over and make you look less than who you are and call you unlovable, right? But to that I say too, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. And I'm sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. And when you say it back to yourself, if you can, write it down and read it, but say it out loud to yourself. Eventually, You'll say it backwards, which means I love you, means you love yourself. And thank you. Thank you for loving yourself and getting through this tumultuous times with adversity and rise. You will rise. And I'm sorry for the experience that happened or the journey that was taken. Try not to judge yourself. And this is a difficult one because we always do. Because some of our journey and our experiences were very painful. So then you can say back to yourself, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. So I'm going to leave that with you here today and just and say these things to yourself. Write it down. Keep it in your purse, your wallet, your desk, or at bedtime. You can play it. There's a lot of things on YouTube. And I may put something out too. But saying, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. It's okay to do that to yourself or anybody else. Make amends to yourself and other people you've hurt. Because love is the highest form of healing. And the Ho'oponopono is beautiful. And full of flowers because they're so tender and elegant, beautiful, refined, gentle, fragrant, and perfect. Each one of them, just as we are. Just remember to take care of you today because you matter. And so it is.